Today's soul food is hear from God. Don't you move until you hear from God. Don't sign a piece of paper until you hear from God. Make sure that what you're doing is a result of what God told you to do. See, we get caught up in a lot of trials and tribulations, and we become what we call overwhelmed because we put ourselves in situations that God never meant for us to be into. We get into relationships with people. We get into business ships with people that we're not even supposed to be conducting business with. Why? Because we did not hear from God. Half of us don't even talk to God, let alone hear from God to even know which way and what we're supposed to be doing. So today, I need you stop what you're doing and hear from God. That is a key step in turning the dial on the combination of unlocking unlimited blessings in your life. That is a very key step. First, you need to come to Jesus. Then you need to talk to Jesus. Then you need to change your mind. Then you need to open your heart. Then you need to hear from God. Let him direct you on what to do, where to go, when to do it, how to do it. So that way the finality will be you unlocking that safe and no longer having to worry about how it happened, but you'll know how it happened and you'll know how to go to that well every time and draw water out of it. That's the reason why the widow with the oil and her kids were able to live and flourish with an oil business, because she tapped into hearing from God and the process it takes to get there in order to unlock the oil, to keep the oil flowing, so that she no longer ever again needed any help, needed any kind of despair. No longer did she have people knocking at her door trying to take her kids as slaves. She never went back into debt. Why? Because she heard from God, and the decision she made in the business she created wasn't one that she even thought of. It was one that God gave her. Remember, what God gives to you, no man can take away. What he builds, no man can tear down. What door he opens, no man can close, and what he closes, no man can open. Remember that. God gave her that business. That's why that thing worked. Make sure what you're doing, God gave it to you. Make sure the man or the woman you with, God gave it to it. Make sure the business you want to do, God gave it to you. Make sure whatever the decision is that you're making right this moment and going forward in your life today is something that God told you to do. And if you're wondering why you're stagnant, and if you're wondering why things ain't working out the way they're supposed to, and if you're wondering why it just seemed like you can't get off or go, probably because you ain't heard from God. Because God ain't told you to do what you done. Stop it. Take a moment. Hear from him. Let him talk to you. Let him get you together. Be blessed today.